Welcome back to Bros and Brits. My name is Lawrence.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we're back for another collaboration that we do every month with 6 other channels below.
Yeah.
Today's subject is all about how we got into RVing, which is different because normally we do things like how-tos or products reviews or something like that. But the most exciting thing about today is we have a guest star as part of the collaboration. So welcome Matt from Matt's RV Reviews. And do you know what's interesting that I found out recently?
What?
He's also British.
Oh, yes.
Maybe half British. I think his dad was British, but he has been back to England, looked around and everything. Anyway, let's roll the intro. We'll get right in.
Really makes me wonder.
Alright, so if you're new here, obviously don't forget to hit subscribe. But a little bit about me and Natalie. We moved over from the US in 2013. We travelled the country in our Ford F250 and our Grand Design travel trailer. We do have a home base in Florida, so we are reverse snowbirds. People always laugh when I say that, but we travel during the summer and then we spend a couple of months at our home base in the winter just to recharge. So how did we get into RVing? Well, for me, my first RVing experience was back in the UK, and I used to race motorcycles. So me and actually Natalie's brother, he would take his car and tow the bikes on a bike trailer. I'd take my car and tow a little caravan, we'd call it there. And yeah, so we had somewhere to stay when we were racing bikes. It was normally a weekend affair. So yeah, that was my chance, and I hated it. The caravan was horrible. I towed it with a silly little Ford Escort, slightly different from the US version, but same idea. And it was horrible. That I shouldn't have been towing with that car. Driving it was horrible. The trailer was horrible and mouldy, but it had a job. So since then, I've never wanted to RV ever again.
Right after we moved to the US, we bought a farm in Virginia. And it was awesome, but we didn't ever really go on vacation because we had all the animals to take care of and the dogs. So we never really went anywhere.
Jack's just pooped.
Life of dog ownership. So we started to downsize the farm a little, and we bought this, what was it, 24 foot?
Yeah,
Four Winds travel
Something
trailer. And it was like $4,000 or something. It was nasty.
No, it was okay. It was okay, but it smelt of cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
And which I'm fine with, but Natalie hates it. But so Natalie said we need to rip up these carpets. So I started watching some YouTube channels, things like that, about how to refurbish an RV. So once we pulled the carpet up to put down the vinyl flooring, there wasn't much of a floor left. We had no idea what we were looking for, so we did not check for water damage. And it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So during my YouTube discovery on how to refurbish a trailer, I found a few channels that were living in RVs full time, and I couldn't help but watch, and I still watch them to this day. But there was a few things it gave me. There was one, I knew exactly what I wanted in a trailer, and two, it took me on a whole journey of everything, like DIY stuff, upgrades, how-tos, how to tow, payload things, and I realized there was a lot that I had to learn.
So long story short, we ended up fixing up that little trailer, learnt a lot, sold it, and then bought a 37-foot Grand Designs Reflection.
Which, by the way, is awesome. We changed the bunkhouse into an office. We have a whole bunch of videos on that. But our first trip in it was actually for 6 months going around the US. That was the first time we ever used it. Now that went fantastic and we loved it until COVID hit, and then we had to go back to the farm. But we knew at that point when you got back, you know, sometimes you go on vacation and you want to come home and you're looking forward to getting home and just being in your own place. We didn't really have that when we went back to the farm. So I think we knew then. You did a little bit, I didn't. It just
I missed my animals.
it reminded me of hard work. So anyway, we decided to sell the farm. We were going to move to Florida for the winter, and then we could RV all summer because we could see ourselves doing this as a long-term thing. The only problem we had is that where we're from, the UK, we don't really have many, we don't have any family here, and so we didn't have anywhere that could store our stuff. You know, we got rid of most of it, but there was stuff that we didn't really want to do. We could put it in storage, or we had some friends we could maybe ask, but there was nothing really holding us to one specific place. So we decided to buy a home base, keep our stuff in there, winter home, travel during the summer.
Lawrence forgot to mention that we also had a 15-year-old dog, Roxy, at the time, and so going full-time in the RV would have been extremely stressful for her. We knew she was getting near the end of her life. So we bought the house in Florida with no stairs, swimming pool for her, everything nice, so that she had a nice end of life.
So the one thing that we found is that RVing is addictive. So if you don't have an RV and you're looking at doing it, then be careful. This is the one reason I've never gone skiing. I've never skied in my life because someone said once you do it, you get addicted and it costs a lot of money.
You have enough hobbies.
I have enough hobbies, and RVing has gone right to the top of that list. So it's very addictive, not just upgrades to the RV and living in the RV, it's the places you see. You get to do all of it. So we don't have a specific mission, but we are just exploring as much of the US as we possibly can. And I think we counted the other day, I think we're up to like 22 states.
There's more than some Americans.
It is. So that's our story. Obviously a lot of bits in between that we missed out, but that's the basic crux of the matter.
That's a long word.
I know. I'm trying to be fancy. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. Don't forget, this is part of a collaboration with 6 other channels and Matt from Matt's RV Review, which I'm really interested in because he does a lot of RV reviews and stuff like that, but I have no idea on his history. So I'm wondering how he's got into the RV industry, yeah. And he owns an RV as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, he is an RVer. So that's going to be interesting. Anyway, the other channels are listed below. We're going to leave a playlist up here, so you can just click on the playlist and you'll see everyone's videos in there. If you do go to the other channels, let them know that we sent you.
Yep.
And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can hit the thanks button because Natalie loves it. And if you'd like to hit the join button to support a couple of tits, Natalie and me, then go ahead and do that and become a channel member. You'll become a Braziere. All right. We will see you on Sunday at noon for our normal video. If not, we'll see you in the collaboration next month.